Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this one we're going to be talking about how I price my commissions. On Instagram I asked you guys what videos I should make, and one of the answers was that I should talk about how I price my commissions and my work in general, I guess. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, and I want to start off by saying that I'm no expert on this. I mean, I can only talk from my experience, and yeah, I feel like that my answer on this would always change down the road. Like, it's going to keep on evolving, and I'll have more experience to tell and share. But from what I know now, that's what I'm just going to share now. So yeah, don't hold me like accountable for saying you should do this or that. So yeah, just do your research, and I think that's what's best. You should always do your research and also learn from your own experience. And I'm going to be getting into like how much you should value yourself and your own value, your self-value. I think that's a big problem with artists. But yeah, to start off, I'm going to be talking about my story and how I've kind of gained a little momentum with getting commissions and pricing commissions, and just knowing how to do it and knowing how to go about it. So to start, I would always do a few commissions growing up, and it wouldn't be too special, nothing too big. It would just be like, let's say, a design for a YouTube banner or something like that, and I would design it, and yeah, and they will pay me. But the payment would be I would always get weird with the payment, because I knew nothing about how to go about that kind of way of just asking for money. It's always it can be very awkward sometimes, and it can be very nerve-wracking. So I would always ask for a little amount when really I should be getting a lot more. Let's say I did this commission for my friend, maybe like, I don't know, when I was like 16 or something, and I would get, say, I think it was, I remember doing a logo for my friend's YouTube banner or YouTube page, and I think I got £15. So I was like, oh, that's cool, I got £15 for drawing something, and I was really happy. But those are the things that I kept doing over the years, and I'd really undervalue myself, and I didn't really know how to go about it, because at the end of the day, at school and university, they don't really teach you about how to price your work, and it's very hard for artists or any creative person who's doing freelance and the odd commission here and there. It's very hard for them to know how to price their work when they don't really have that much experience of doing it in the first place. During my time at university, I started to get a little more commissions than usual. This was because I was doing my Instagram, and I was posting on there quite often, and people would ask me every now and then, how much are your commissions, and can you do me this, can you paint me that, can you draw me this digitally, or whatever they wanted. And I would always be open to doing that, but when it came down to the payment, I didn't really have a clue. Like, I knew I could do the work, and I had the skills to do what they wanted, but I didn't know how to price it. And I think the way I did it was that I started to just throw numbers out there, kind of. And I started to say, if someone wants me to do a painting on an A4 sheet of paper, I would charge them £75, and I felt, okay, that's cool. And I was happy with that for a little while. Like, I would do these like paintings for that much, and I soon started to post stuff on my shop, and I would price it there, and people would see how much I was valuing myself, pretty much. And one day my friend on Instagram, he messaged me and he said, Nick, you should be pricing your work much higher. And then he said that I shouldn't be perceived as a low value artist. I shouldn't be undervaluing myself. And it was very true when I realized that, when he said that to me. And I'm so thankful that he messaged me out the blue, just saying that, you know, Nick, you should be valuing yourself much higher than you are. He then went on to send me over this screenshot of suggested art print prices, and go on looking at the graph now, and you can see on the screen I was pretty much valuing myself as a starting out artist, when really I should have been in the rising star category. Immediately after that conversation, I rethought my pricing for my commissions and my prints in general on my shop, and it was really helpful to look at that graph. And I kind of went, you know, I'm definitely not starting out. I've been doing this for over a year now, and I've realized that, you know, I'm a rising star now according to that category, because I'm not quite established yet. I'm still finding my feet and you know, just getting a bit of traction from the Instagram stuff that I've been posting. So yeah, I was a rising star at that moment according to the graph. It's so weird saying it, by the way, but yeah, according to the graph it says that A4 should be around £80, which sounded okay to me at the time. And what I soon realised is that this graph could only get me so far, because I'm actually painting on, you know, I could be doing a 6x6 piece, and like, how much is that going to cost? I don't know, because it doesn't say. So I still had to do a lot more research and figuring out how to do it. I also had the problem of that people who wanted me to do logos or something for them, and that kind of doesn't really apply to fine art prints for this table that it's saying. So I still had to figure out how much do I value myself for that what piece of work, not fine art prints or paintings. This is when it gets really hard to answer a specific answer for this question, because there's so many different factors that come into what you should be getting from a commission. It can all depend on how big the commission is. I've been a full-time artist for over 2 years now, and along the journey I've had many different types of commissions. I've had big commissions for big companies, and I've had really small commissions for just individuals who just want a painting made or whatever. So it all really depends on what you get, but for most people you're probably going to get just, especially when you're starting out, you're probably going to get just the odd commission from an individual who just wants a piece from you, a little design or something like that. So what I recommend is pricing your work at a fixed rate. And this is something that I use today, and I find it very easy to navigate which, you know, how much a commission should be, and I found it very easy to do. So what you can do in your free time, I want you to go over your work and think about what you offer as an artist. So let's just say I'm a painter and I want to offer 5 types of sizes for my paintings. I think this is really important as a beginner artist, that you should just focus on a small amount of commission prices. You know, keep it limited, keep it so it's like manageable to you, and then the more you do it, the bigger you can get, and you can do as much as you want. Like, you can go from, instead of doing 5 sizes, you can do 10 sizes, and you can just up it so that you give more, more people can come to you and be like, oh, I want this massive piece, and then you're prepared that you can price it up accordingly. So what I recommend is actually doing this method of calculating a flat rate. I times the width and height of a canvas. So let's just say it's a 12 by 16 inch canvas. What I do is I times those two sums together. That equals 192. So at the start of this, when I figured it out of doing this method, I would actually charge £200 for a 12 by 16 piece, and that was really helpful to me. And what you can do later on, and what I have done and what I'm doing now, is that I just times that by 2, so I'm generating much more money, and I'm definitely falling into that established category now, as I've had so much more experience than I did. I would also like to bring up that you have to talk about logistics when it comes to shipping your painting. If you're painting with digital, you don't have to worry about this, but when you're shipping off a painting, you've got to think about shipping prices, and that's something that you have to sort out. And I can talk about that in another video, of how I found out about how to ship stuff, and ship stuff to all around the world, and all the prices that will be. But you also got to make it clear to the client that okay, I do want this sum of, let's say, £200 for a piece, but also you have to pay for an extra shipping amount of £12 or something to ship. So yeah, you've just got to make it clear to the client that you're going to be paying this much. One last thing that I'm going to talk about is that you should be confident in talking to your clients. And I know this comes from experience, and I was very timid when it came to asking for money and talking about money when people wanted commissions from me, and often it would leave me in very bad positions where I would have to awkwardly bring it up, and I would be very I don't know, it would just be very hard for me to talk about that while doing the work and whatever. So what I recommend is that you guys should talk about the payment as early on as possible. So let them know that it's going to cost this much, and then get their details and create an invoice. What I use is PayPal, and I create an invoice on there. I send them an email, and I ask them that you can either pay it now or you can pay half now, and then once it's done, you can pay the rest. So that way, it's really important that you've got that kind of peace of mind that this person's actually going to pay you, and yeah, you don't want that headache that I've had a few times in the past, where you've done this work and the client hasn't paid, and you're like, oh my god, what's going to happen? But luckily for me, I've never had a client who kind of robbed me of creating something. So yeah, you've got to really make it clear to them what the price is going to be. So that's why you should figure out your flat rate, and then go from there. Really, you've also got to, when you say your price of the commission, you've got to say it with authority, and really just put that clear to them, make it clear as possible to them that it's going to cost this much. And if the client is asking for a lower price and is not really respecting what you say and what you value yourself as, don't worry, and just make it clear to them that this commission is going to cost this much, and that's it. I don't go lower, I don't go higher. This is it. This is a flat rate. Keep it as fair as possible. Make sure they understand that. And yeah, that's one of the biggest things I've learnt when dealing with commissions and dealing with clients, that they're trying to pay the cheapest price for you to create something really good. And that's where you need to draw the line in the sand, and you'd be like, and if you're not going to pay the price that I want you to, I mean, what's the point of me even doing it for you? So I'm not going to do that. So that's why the number one rule, I think, is to make it clear to them how much it's going to be before, and then yeah, you can go from there. But yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, those are the kind of key tips that I've learnt over the years, and I think I can talk about this subject for double this video, and I can go on forever. about how to do it, but you know, I don't want you guys to be here all day. And yeah, it's quite a long video already. With that being said, let me know if you have any questions about this topic in the comments below. I'm always there to answer, and especially in the first week or so of this video being uploaded, I'm there and I'm ready to go with answering. So yeah, if you want me to answer any questions after that time, just feel free to message me anytime on Instagram, and I always look at my DMs there, and yeah, I'll be more than happy to help you out. But yeah, good luck guys with getting commissions and pricing your work. It can be very scary, but once you figure out the basics, you'll be fine, and you know, you continue to learn throughout your career. But yeah, that's about it guys, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye.